Two times, the Archangel Michael confronted Satan. 1. The body of Moses. The first instance involved the body of Moses. In Jude verse 9, an event is described that appears nowhere else in the Bible. Michael contended with Satan over the body of Moses, but the details of this dispute are unclear. Jude 9 states, "But Michael the archangel, when he disputed with the devil and argued about the body of Moses, did not dare pronounce against him a railing judgment, but said, 'The Lord rebuke you.'" This episode is unique to Jude. It is plausible that Satan wanted to locate Moses' burial site to establish a shrine, leading the Israelites into idolatry over Moses' remains. As Israel's angelic guardian, Michael would strive to prevent this by keeping the burial site secret. Moses was prohibited from entering the Promised Land due to his disobedience at Meribah Kadesh. He led the Israelites to Canaan's edge and was allowed a glimpse of the land, but not entry. At the end of his life, Moses ascended Mount Nebo from the plains of Moab to the top of Pisgah, where he died as per God's command. Deuteronomy 34 verse 6 reveals, "And he buried him in the valley in the land of Moab, opposite Beth Peor, but no man knows his burial place to this day." God personally buried Moses and concealed the tomb to prevent idolatry. Even though Michael is an archangel, he did not arrogate judgment over the ruler of demons, leaving rebuke to God. Michael is depicted in Daniel, Jude, and Revelation as a warrior angel engaged in spiritual battles. The term archangel denotes an angel of the highest rank. Unlike most angels described as messengers, Michael is shown resisting evil spirits and principalities. His name means "who is like God," and his actions always demonstrate deference to God's authority. Lucifer, before his fall, was a cherub of the highest order, created with unmatched wisdom and beauty. His perfection included personal and moral qualities until his first sin. Despite his fall, Satan retained significant influence and dignity. This lesson emphasizes that all creatures, including us, must submit to God, acknowledging him as creator and redeemer. Michael's example is instructive. Satan's strategies are insidious, but Michael defended Moses with zeal, saying, "The Lord rebuke thee." 2. The war in heaven. The second confrontation occurred in heaven. Revelation 12 verse 7 recounts, "And war broke out in heaven, Michael and his angels waging war with the dragon. The dragon and his angels fought." Revelation 12 verses 8 to 9 adds, "But they were not strong enough and did not prevail, and there was no longer a place found for them in heaven. And the great dragon was thrown down, the serpent of old who is called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him." Despite their defeat, Satan and his forces retain power and will ultimately be judged and tormented forever, as described in Revelation 20 verses 1 to 3 and 20:10. Believers overcome Satan through the blood of the Lamb and their testimony, remaining faithful even unto death. This victory allows the heavens to rejoice but brings woe to the earth and sea. For the devil, knowing his time is short, unleashes his wrath. Though Satan is not yet in hell, his primary attack on God's people is through blasphemy, but believers have an advocate in Jesus Christ, who laid down his life for them. Christians must remain vigilant and sober-minded, as Satan prowls like a roaring lion seeking to devour. Revelation 12 verse 17 describes Satan's continued war against those who keep God's commandments and hold to Jesus' testimony. Confrontation is unavoidable but necessary to rectify, purify, and unify the community. Version 2. Twice, the Archangel Michael confronted Satan. 1. Over Moses' body. The first instance involved a dispute over Moses' body. In Jude verse 9, there's a unique account not found elsewhere in the Bible. Michael had a conflict with Satan over Moses' body, but the specifics are not detailed. Jude 9 reads, "But Michael the archangel, when he disputed with the devil and argued about the body of Moses, did not dare pronounce against him a railing judgment, but said, 'The Lord rebuke you.'" This episode, exclusive to Jude, likely indicates Satan's intent to locate Moses' grave to establish a shrine, leading to idolatry among the Israelites. Michael, as Israel's angelic protector, aimed to prevent this by keeping Moses' burial site secret. Moses was barred from the Promised Land due to his disobedience at Meribah Kadesh. He led the Israelites to the edge of Canaan and was granted a view of the land, but was not allowed to enter. At the end of his life, Moses ascended Mount Nebo from the plains of Moab to the top of Pisgah and died as God had decreed. Deuteronomy 34 verse 6 states, "And he buried him in the valley in the land of Moab, opposite Beth Peor, but no man knows his burial place to this day." Moses is the only person in the Bible buried by God who hid the tomb to prevent idolatry. Michael, despite being an archangel, refrained from judging the ruler of demons, leaving rebuke to God. He is portrayed in Daniel, Jude, and Revelation as a warrior angel fighting against evil forces. The term archangel means the highest-ranking angel. Unlike most angels depicted as messengers, Michael is shown in combat against evil spirits. His name asks, "Who is like God?" And his actions reflect complete submission to God's authority. Before his fall, Lucifer was a cherub of the highest order, created with supreme wisdom and beauty. He was perfect in his ways until his first sin. Despite his fall, Satan retains significant power and dignity. This lesson reminds us that all creatures, including us, must submit to God, recognizing him as creator and redeemer. Michael's conduct is exemplary. Satan's tactics are devious, but Michael defended Moses with fervor, saying, "The Lord rebuke thee." 2. The heavenly war. The second confrontation occurred in heaven. Revelation 12 verse 7 narrates, "And war broke out in heaven, Michael and his angels waging war with the dragon. The dragon and his angels fought." Revelation 12 verses 8 to 9 continues, "But they were not strong enough and did not prevail, and there was no longer a place found for them in heaven. And the great dragon was thrown down, the serpent of old who is called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him." Even in defeat, Satan and his followers retain power until their final judgment and eternal torment, as described in Revelation 20 verses 1 to 3 and 20:10. Believers overcome Satan through the Lamb's blood and their testimony, remaining steadfast even in death. This triumph causes rejoicing in heaven but brings woe to the earth and sea, as the devil, aware of his limited time, unleashes his fury. Although not yet in hell, Satan's primary attack on God's people is through accusations, but believers have Jesus Christ as their advocate who sacrificed his life for them. Christians must stay vigilant and alert, as Satan roams like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour. Revelation 12 verse 17 highlights Satan's ongoing battle against those who obey God's commands and bear witness to Jesus. Confrontation is inevitable but essential to correct, purify, and unify the community.